Oh my gosh. Right. What is going on? 29th today. Okay. Sorry guys. I'm just doing something. Let's go to here. Right. So, what's happening, people's Lunar Mike yet again. Today is our technical analysis episode, and I am going to talk you through the market, and this is more of an update for myself. So, looking at fundamentals, we have big news for the New Zealand dollar. Governor Orr speaking, not sure what he's going to say. We have manufacturing PMI for China on Wednesday. Thursday we have Chicago PMI and ADP NFPs or NFE. Thursday we have Governor Bailey and OPEC meetings, and also ISM manufacturing, so we need to watch that. If it's increased, then we're going to look towards maybe a potential spike in inflation, whereas a decrease in confidence or consensus in the market will lead to a drawback of potential Fed intervention. That's how it works. ISM manufacturing, or just manufacturing PMIs in general, are a good gauge of how the economy is doing, thanks to Bloomberg. That's information there. Friday, July 2nd, we have NFPs. Boom, that's this week. Greatness. And we are looking at, I can't believe it's NFPs already. I don't believe it. No, I can't. That's unbelievable. Fair enough. But anyways, NFPs, we have a forecast of 5.6 for unemployment rate, and we shall potentially get that. Let's see how manufacturing and NFEs go, and let's see what happens. Yeah. And then after that, Tuesday, we have RBA and we have FOMC on Wednesday. So that is what is the 212 over the next 7 to 10 days. And I'm going to start with the dollar index today, this morning, on the 29th of June 2021. Let's get right into this. So looking at the dollar, I'm looking upwards. Of course, it's a very, very simple setup. Here's the first impulse. There's the retracement. Second impulse upwards towards this resistance / supply. And I would expect some range over here before changing the cycle and potentially continuing upwards on this uptrend. So it's very, very simple stuff. I can't really say too much about it. It looks like we are going upwards, and we will make those highs, which means that everyone else will have a regime change and will decrease. So it looks like the dollar is going to become incredibly bullish over the next few days. And look, on the weekly, we have a bullish breaker. So we're going to close bullish with this candle, and this is a bullish breaker. So anything below this will end this uptrend. And yeah, without further ado, I'm looking upwards on the dollar index, and we should be going upwards towards 0.94 over the next few weeks. Given how this massive, like we saw this range is said, and this Wyckoff accumulation, given how strong this surge was, I can expect us to maybe continue upwards by maybe August, reaching 94, given how this worked. But of course, the second leg of a trend is always less than the first. So we could reach supply by August at 93.5. So I'm looking at 93.5 on the dollar index. Let's go to Aussie dollar. And the Aussie dollar is looking downwards, of course, with the dollar index. I'm looking at Wyckoff, and this is just a plain easy sell here. Look at, we had that selling pressure over here with the dollar, and it looks like we have made that selling climax, and we could potentially get a trend reversal. This is a nice demand zone. Look here, we have a selling climax here. We have an automatic range, which is a really nice rebound over there to get those sellers back into the market. And then now the sellers are retaking control, and I can expect us to retest support over here. If this is the key zone over here, this is where you'd potentially find some short or long setups at this red line. I don't know why it's all the way over there. Put it over here. You would find setups over here, and then look for a rejection of those to go upwards and then continue downwards. That is the idea of that. We could potentially see a range after this. Of course, this is the first impulse downwards, retracement, and then we get the second impulse downwards towards this area over here. And that is to see what happens. We could potentially see a really long sustained move over the weekly candles of red, and potentially reach down to this support over here. So weekly, it's looking pretty nice. Everything on the monthly as well, the monthly has broken that upward trend, and as you can see, what I'm talking about impulses is that over here, the first impulse we got, and we got a retracement, and then the second impulse was shorter than the first, which is also like how it usually works out. So I'm looking downwards on this. Here is our bearish breaker, this blue candle over here, so I can expect us to continue downwards and then remain below this pivot point over here. So I'm looking downwards towards this demand zone. That is the overall target on Aussie dollar US dollar, with the Fed being more, that's a 7% move, Fed being more willing to increase interest rates and taper their current monetary spending. So that is the overview for Aussie dollar. I'm looking towards 0.7. Let's go Kiwi dollar, and I am in the same situation. So looking at the daily chart, I am looking at the same, literally the same setup, because all of the pairs move obviously similar, and you can see that there's a trend line downwards. I just sort of spotted that. But here is our automatic range after the seller's climax, after that spike in bearish volume, and we got that automatic range, and now we are going to retest support. We could potentially rebound off this area, which I'll put a half my order over here and another half down here, just to mitigate risk, or spread risk out. And then I would look for selling opportunities around here or even up here before we go downwards. So I would expect us to go down to here, spike over here, just get that spring, and then continue upwards, where you would look for selling entries to go further lower. The overall weekly bias is towards this supply. This is a regime change, and you can see already that we have made a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low, and we are going to make a lower high and then a lower low, blah blah blah, trend tings, and then boom, monthly, similar thing. We are yet to close below this pivot, but we have broken it already, which is a sign that we are going to go lower. So the print is there. Let's see how price does. I'm looking downwards on New Zealand dollar US dollar. Let's go to the pound, and the pound is looking also, of course, the pound is interesting. So we got that big selling off on the weekly, and we got that bullish comeback, but the bullish kind of looks like the print is upwards, which could potentially see a fill of that wick, but because we are potentially still in upward trend. We did break this bullish breaker, but only very marginally. So the bulls are still arguably in control, but it looks like on the daily we are in the bears, and I would expect a retest of this support over here. So that is pretty much straightforward. I'm looking to buy over there, to sell over there, to go downwards and look towards the lower side. So the weekly, it looks like we need some more confirmation. A bearish candlestick will do that, and then a bearish sustained wick downwards will do that, and we're still on Tuesday. So let's see what happens with that. And then monthly, we're looking at bearish close around over there, which could potentially see that. I don't know about Bloomberg, but they have the options expiry contracts, and I can assume that there's going to be quite a lot of expiries around 1.37 or 1.38 over the next week at the end of the month close. So let's see what happens with that. And if I had the information, I would make a call on where it would expire, but it looks like everyone wants to price downwards based on the Fed tapering. So let's go to Euro US dollar. And Euro is exactly the same. So there's the support. This is slightly different over here because we have this target, and it's really easy, this target, pointing it out. I'm looking down to here, and I'm looking at price sustaining a move down to there, potentially getting up and then going down. But it seems that price will sustain a move because there is that print over here. And yeah, of course, as said with pound, option expiry, and that could move price down really sustained down to the bottom by the end of the week. We'll have to see what happens with that. And let's go USD Swiss franc. Swiss franc, of course, you can see there's the first impulse, retracement, and then the second impulse upwards. Very simple stuff. And then finally gold. And gold is really interesting. I know it's a bit of a mess because I've been trading it, but as you can see, we have been in that range, and we are breaking that range, and it's pretty interesting what's happening now. So we're getting that bullish move right now. I'm looking to enter, let's go on the 1 hour. I'm looking to enter maybe around 1774/1775 just to get that sniper entry. We have that down move and the liquidity is around here, so I would expect us to make that AR because we do have a spike in volume. So we've made that SC over here. We're making that AR, and I obviously expect it to come up to over here to make that, there's a pivot over there, so I'd expect us to come over there. So I'm making a setup. I'm going to probably place my entry around 1773, 1774/1775, probably martingale into it, and then catch that sustained move downwards towards this just below AR, or just below SC, and maybe get down to 1765 area. So that is gold, ZAO USD, some Chinese. Look, and then here's the selling climax. So this is the overall momentum. So I don't even need to go into 1765 because the daily is showing me that we're going down to over here. So I could expect us to continue downwards. In fact, down all the way to 1755. That's the overall target. Although I do like doing short trades on gold because I don't like holding it, because it changes direction very easily. So I'm looking towards 1765. That's the first target, and then the second target, if I put my stops to entry, close half the trade, I'm looking at 1760, and then after that 1755. Very, very easy stuff. Yeah. Just had my coffee. I'm a bit high, can't lie. Moved into a new place with the missus, and she did very well. And she did very well in her studies. Very nice, good girl. But anyways, so that is me for today. I've put the COT reports in the group chat. There's a few people, oh no, not anymore, but I've updated it, and something very interesting on gold has presented itself to me. So if we look at non-commercials, we can see that non-commercials have in fact tested lows, but there is technical analysis to these COT reports. And you can see that it's at lows, and I'd expect us to continue downwards towards 150,000. We're at 166, which is probably one of the lowest we have seen over the past year, which is very exciting stuff. So I'm expecting us to continue downwards. Look, we've made this high, low, lower high, and then we're going to make a lower low. So I'm expecting gold to go down much, much further. And without further ado, thank you for listening, guys. Been doing them out yet again. Hope you got something from this, as I have too, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.